Welcome back everyone. Well, I just found out that pretty much with the discontinuation of the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus, more specifically the 8 Plus, they have pretty much ended all the Plus versions of the iPhones, which is so crazy. They still have the Max, they have, the XS Max, the 11 Pro Max, well, the 11 Pro Max now, but they actually got rid of the iPhone Plus lineup forever, it seems like. Now, some people have been saying that there's going to be an iPhone SE Plus, and that could very well be true, but as of right now, there are no Plus versions being sold by Apple anymore, which is pretty insane. And I want to take a second, what I want to say is, with the Plus versions, I think for the first two versions of Plus phones, so the iPhone 6 Plus, iPhone 6s Plus, really you were just getting the bigger size, that was really all there was. I remember people saying the same thing about iPads, iPads are just a bigger version of the iPhone. Well, the iPhone Plus version was just a bigger version of the iPhone small version, so it really ended up with what size you wanted. However, I will say, towards the end of it, the last two, so the iPhone 7 Plus and iPhone 8 Plus, Apple did a lot of things right. They really, made those two phones completely separate, more than just the size. First, it started off with the 7 Plus, it got the extra gig of RAM, so you got 3 gigs of RAM versus the 2. And then on top of that, you had the addition of that telephoto lens, which allowed you to do things like portrait mode and crazy things like that. And that's why phones like the iPhone 7 Plus and the iPhone 8 Plus have held up so well, mostly because of that extra camera sensor. The speed is still there, the performance is still there for the most part, and because it's a bigger size display, you have that 1080p display, which isn't that bad. I know some people say 1440p OLED, whatever. I'm kind of there with you. Even like the iPhone 11 Pro right now isn't 1440p, but it's definitely still up there for sure. But the iPhone 7 Plus and iPhone 8 Plus definitely had pretty decent displays, especially with the 8 Plus bringing in that True Tone technology, which was really cool. Now looking at the first two, I think the 6s Plus, as you guys know, is one of my favorite phones ever. It seriously holds up so well in 2020. For a round $120 phone, it's really not that bad of an option if I'm being completely honest. However, there are other phones in the market, that can get you much better. But with the Plus models, back in the day, when the iPhone 6 came out, I was almost always like a smaller phone guy. I wanted something that can fit in my hands. I have small hands. You guys can make fun of me if you want to, but I've always wanted some smaller phones. And then I was given an iPhone 6 Plus, and I was like, wow, I actually really like this size. And then I ended up buying all the Plus models for myself and using them. And then I eventually switched over to an iPhone 10, and I've always kind of wanted the bigger size. I still own a 10s Max. I don't know why I don't really use it, but I just like the smaller sizes now, which is weird, but I still like the bigger sizes too. I might switch up to an 11 Pro Max at some point, but it's still pretty crazy that those Plus models at that time were really kind of pushing the boundaries. If you remember, the iPhone 5s was the previous model before the 6 and the 6 Plus, and that was a 4-inch screen. Think about how small that is. Now we have the new iPhone SE, and that has a 4.7-inch display, and people are like freaking out about that, saying, oh my god, look how small this is, whatever. The iPhone SE and the 5s both had 4-inch panels, which is so crazy to think how crazy you went from a 4-inch panel to a 4.7 and a 5.5-inch panel. Those are some pretty big differences. Now, out of all the Plus models, obviously the 6s Plus to the 8 Plus are, still being continued on with software with iOS 13. iPhone 6 Plus is still getting iOS 12 updates, so really none of these phones have died out. They're not being discontinued fully by software or anything, but they are fully being discontinued when it comes down to brand new sales. I think I saw some coming up to the refurbished site for Apple's website, which is pretty interesting, but then they took them down, so I don't know if they sold them out or what happened, but either or, the iPhone 8 Plus and iPhone 7 Plus and iPhone 6s Plus and iPhone 6 Plus, I love them both. I love all of them. Not both, there's 4 of them. I love all of them. They're great phones, tremendous ones, and I'm curious to see if Apple makes that iPhone SE Plus next year, whenever they do it. So rest in peace. This might not be a rest in peace video, this might just be a random video, but either or, rest in peace iPhones Plus versions. You will be missed. If you guys have any questions or have any experiences with these phones, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it means so much if you guys can hit that. Also check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel. All those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. More importantly than everything else, I'll love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.